Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another great episode of Basscast Radio. I am your host, Brian Carter, and my co-host, Hank the Bass Geek. What is happening, brother?
What's
Back,
going on?
back for another great show, everyone. Uh, if you guys have all kept up, me and Hank have been on the tour here lately. We're hitting the expos, shaking hands, kissing babies. Whatever you
Yep.
do these days. So we've been on tour and we got to hang out down in North Carolina a couple of weeks ago. You guys all know that. But we got home Sunday night. I think we pulled in pretty good. We pulled in about 6:30. You had to do the show. But from Knox Vegas and from the Tennessee Fishing Expo. And dude, guys, I ain't gonna lie. You looking for a show and a vacation and a great
Yeah.
time. That's the show to go to. It really is. I mean, I ain't knocking all the rest of the shows around here. I mean, everybody can do what they can do,
Yeah.
but Sheila puts on a great show and
Incredible.
incredible. She works her butt off. And even with the little issue they had, guys, I mean, I heard, they had the little issue with the tickets. I was told that, let me back this up a little bit. You guys crashed the computer. I mean,
They had so many people trying to get tickets last minute. Now here's the problem. Don't wait till right before you're getting ready to go into the show to skip the line and get your
yes.
tickets online.
This,
So
this ain't Kroger where you can skip the line, you know what I'm saying? Or Sam's Club. I mean, this is a fishing tackle expo that, they're sitting on a server, one server, not 50 to 100 of them.
Yeah.
So, but yes,
that says a lot. I mean, that tells you how big this show is, that there was still a huge line and there was still enough people trying to get around the line to crash the daggone server.
and that is true because we hung out the show on Friday, and it was a good day Friday. I mean, we were hanging out with Rattle Shot, and Danielle helped Dennis Stump in the booth. But like I said, I mean, he had a great day then, and I heard Saturday was just as good or better.
God, it was better, man. It was so, like, I I was planning on doing a live on Saturday, and it would have just been me standing in the middle of aisles waiting to get to booths. That would have been the majority of it.
So that's why we came down on Thursday night and we went over on Friday to record. Guys, I've got a lot of video from the event. I know Geek's got a lot of video from the event. We're gonna be dropping it. I'm dropping mine already.
Yep.
Tiny Boat, we've already dropped their video. And I've got I got like 4 more videos, I think it's what it is, or about 5. So another week's worth of videos to drop on you guys. We're dropping one a day. So please check out thebasscast.com. That's where the videos will be. You guys all know going on right now. The NPFL is firing back up this week. We got the Major League Fishing going on right now.
Do we have Major League Fishing going on? Because nobody can watch it.
Yes. Whoa. We will talk about that another day because I've already gotten some messages about that. The phone has already blown up, and yes, day 1 and day 2 there was no video from that day. So, guys, we've been spoiled. We really have. But here's what I'm going to say about this. I'm going to let Geek weigh in on this comment right here in a second. We have heard so much from Major League Fishing about the video and about hours of video we're all going to watch, and about hours of video. Oh, wait a second. I work a job. But hours of video we're all going to be able to see. And day 1 and day 2, we have no video. Now, we expect it from somebody like the NPFL. I mean, guys, they're brand spanking new. They went freaking crazy the first year, but they got all their bugs worked out. And, we expect that coming to, kind of from a low budget live, as our boy says from down there in, Tennessee. But the Major League Fishing, the Bass Pro Shop series, we have no video of that 8-pounder on day number 1 from, Jacob Wheeler. I mean, we have no video, no, we have nothing. So, I mean, we got the little snapshot they took from 500 miles away.
Yeah. You know, man, there's a lot I could say about it. So,
but we're going to dedicate it to a show because
yeah.
we're going to bring my boy Thomas on really soon. And especially after this, let's do it next week, Geek.
All right, that works.
It's not a bash. Please, I don't want you guys to ever think that.
No, we're not bashing. It's just, look, you make, in business and entertainment, you make good decisions and you make bad decisions.
Right.
And I don't understand. Yes, okay. I heard one of our friends, a guy that lives right down the road from you, who I love, and I don't want to be mean, but I heard him talk about the fans versus the pros.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how it benefited the pros. But here, let me put it to you this way. Any sport that doesn't do everything that benefits the fans will not stay in business because that's where the money comes from.
Right.
No fans, no money, no viewers, no numbers, no advertisers,
yes.
No money. No sport.
No sport.
So that's how it works.
So let's get back to my comment again that I've made, and a lot of people have talked to me about, about the Major League Fishing. If they don't completely F it up themselves, it might be around in the next few years.
They trying hard.
But they trying pretty daggone hard. And, it's, I don't know. I don't know the financial part. We all know, a lot of big names were rolled this year. A lot of big names were cut. They're fishing NPFL. But, Marty Stone, one of the biggest names in bass fishing attached to Major League Fishing, is gone. So, I mean, they cut the budget a lot, but I guess they had to cut it even more. And, they could be using it all for TV for, I think, they're on CBS network and a couple other networks that, you guys can go back and watch it live, not live. And while we're speaking,
blows my mind.
It does. Mine as well, because we were all just like, what? So, as we're speaking of networks here, guys, this is a big announcement. Really freaking big for the Basscast radio listeners out there. If you are on Roku TV or Amazon Fire TV, you ain't got to have the TV, but because I don't have it, either one. I went to Roku and I downloaded this app called the American Angler Outdoors. American Angler Outdoors, and Basscast Radio is now on American Angler Outdoors. They'll be up in, what is that? Good gosh, they'll be at the Augusta Fishing Expo in 2 weeks. Alvin will be up there. I'll be hanging out with him at the booth, promoting the show. I'll have stickers. I guarantee it. And I'll be passing out stickers, shaking hands, and I should be there Saturday morning. That is my game plan, at least for a few hours. But yes, thank you to Alvin. You guys all remember Alvin owned Gray Goat Lures for a while. So jigs, spinner baits. I apologize. Handmade spinner baits. But yes, the American Angler Outdoors. Like I said, guys, Roku TV and Amazon Fire TV. I was watching myself last night laying in bed, and it's pretty freaking cool. We're not the only one on there, guys. There's about 5 or 6 other shows. I think there's a kayak show, another podcast show. There's a couple different shows. He's trying to make it a big network, and we're really, really excited to be a part of that. I will put a link to that website in the bio for this show so you guys can go download it. But like I said, Roku TV and Amazon Fire TV. That's where we're at now, man. We're growing, brother. It's pretty freaking awesome.
It is awesome. We're same here on the Bass Geek side.
Yeah, so
it's been crazy.
There was an announcement you made today. I think it said something about 15,000.
75,000 subscribers. We hit it last night. Shout out to my guy Money Bass. We was on his live stream, and we hit it last night. So we are at 75,000 subscribers now.
That is awesome.
And we're already up. Let's see here.
That's freaking awesome.
33 from that. So
That is awesome.
75,033. And shows, speaking of the expo, our full show literally dropped at 5 p.m. Eastern. So
Boom.
It's out there.
Boom. There we go.
The thumbnail is a very cool glide bait that we got from there. And it is the thumbnail reads Unreal Must See. So
there you go.
Because that show is unreal.
It is.
And you got to see it to believe it.
You got that right. So, guys, make sure next year, as soon as this show is announced, get your Airbnb rented. That's what we did. We stayed about 45 minutes from the show up there behind Buc-ee's. I don't know much. Sevierville, in that neighborhood right there. Yeah, we stayed there. They had a Dutch Brothers coffee, and Danielle went crazy because she loves Dutch Brothers coffee. But yes, so we stayed up there. We had an awesome place looking out the river. The river is right there in the backyard. I mean, it was beautiful. So thank you to Jacob for running that for us. All right, we got to roll on tonight because guess what? We got the boys from the Liberty University Bass Fishing team on with us tonight. All right, everyone. Like I said, the Liberty University Bass Fishing team. Guys, this team is right in my backyard. We're about 30 minutes from each other. I wish we could have done it together. But we got some anglers on the road. We got Caleb and Cory, who are both on the road at Clarks Hill, getting ready to fish. Is this you guys' first one for the year or second?
Second for the year.
Second for the year. So they're getting ready to fish their second tournament of the 2024 season. But thought we'd start off with this little introduction so you guys can all get to meet the team and get to know a little bit about the anglers that make up the 2024 season. Now, we do have one angler that's missing, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So we're one short, guys, but we still got 6 anglers right here with us. Let's start with Cory and Caleb.
All right. My name is Cory Mitchell. I'm from the Smith Mountain Lake area. I've fished there my whole life, and this is my first year fishing in college, and looking forward to it.
All right.
My name is Caleb Baines. I'm a freshman, and I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Let's roll on.
You want to go?
Yeah. I'm Gavin Sheffer. I'm a junior, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yep. My name is Holden Zinda. I'm also a junior this year, and I'm from Minnesota.
Ooh.
And then my name's Kris Couts. I just transferred here. I'm a junior as well. I'm from Nebraska.
Nebraska.
My name's Wes Newman, and I'm from Charles City, Virginia, freshman.
You say your last name is Newman?
Newman.
Okay. What a team. Let's talk about that. So, for the most part, we got a pretty young team. Or have you guys all, I mean, I know you haven't all fished together yet, but we got a pretty young team here.
Yep. So after last year, I'm the only returner from last year's team. Everyone else was seniors and graduated.
Wow.
So actually took over the team this year as the president. But like I said, second year on the team, love what we're able to do in the sport and just representing Liberty.
It's not all, there's the college thing went through a big growth about, good gosh, guys, it's probably been about 8 to 10 years ago now. It's crazy we think it that far back. The college series started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Bass was putting a lot of money into the college kids, but there's there's not as many left, if you ask me, especially right here in Central Virginia, as there once was. I mean, I don't know. I think Radford had a team at one time. I know Lynchburg College had a team for a little while. I'm not sure how long that one actually lasted. VMI, I think, has a team, maybe like 2 anglers or something. How many anglers is it just 2 to make a team to be able to qualify, or how does that all work?
I believe it can be an individual to be on a team. I mean, most of these tournaments are team events, so they'd be at a disadvantage, but I think it does take 2 guys, and then you have to be a registered full-time student to be eligible to fish the tournaments.
So pairing, this is one thing I kind of always wonder about. And Cory and Caleb, you guys can maybe answer this, or the president. How do you guys go about pairing each other up? I mean, for the event.
You want that one, Cory?
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know if it's the same for every college, but for us, you kind of just find a guy that's open looking for an angler. If you have a boat, you're pretty much guaranteed a spot. And then from that point, you try to find a co, and that's pretty much just how it goes. And you just kind of pick the best fit for you, or the best guy that you can find. And luckily I found Caleb looking for a partner, and me and him fish pretty well together, and I'm excited to fish the rest of the tournaments this year as well with him. And I'm pretty sure that's the same for the rest of the guys as well. You kind of find whoever's open as you go.
So yeah. let's take us back a little bit, all right. So how did you guys know Liberty? I mean, I guess now you have social media. You found out Liberty had a fishing team. You decided to go to Liberty University. It's a great school. It's huge compared to, oh gosh, I'm old. In the 90s, I was there working in the cafeteria because I needed a job. And it was a lot of different people from different countries. But now, it's been grown. We've got lots of different sports up there. And like I said, bass fishing is one of them. But how, do you guys have a registration time or, a meeting, or, how do people find out about Liberty University Bass, the club, and then, get attached to it?
So at least for me, I'm a transfer student. So
okay.
I fished at a college in Dubuque, Iowa. And really here at the school, it wasn't advertised like very big this year, or I guess last year. The only reason I found out that they did have a team was I just saw the jerseys out at a tournament at actually Lake of the Ozarks.
Okay.
Last year. So that kind of showed me that they had a team. And then, I just kind of looked into it from there. And I feel like also with bigger schools, it's more the coach reaching out during high school, getting people to their teams. Like I had no idea about the college I went to in Iowa. But we just found out from a coach. A coach reached out to me and my high school partner and basically just recruited us. And I think it's pretty much the same way, even with these big schools, Montevallo, Auburn, UNA, they're just looking and reaching out to people. And then another thing that plays into that too is just scholarships. So if they're willing to offer you a scholarship, that's really what people are looking for in high school.
Yeah. So what are you, so you guys, I assume, do have a coach, right? You got one coach, got multiple coach. What is the coach like a, traditional, coach that works for the university, or how's that kind of work?
Yeah, so we've got a guy that's actually ex-alumni, and he's kind of serving as, I guess you could call him a coach. He does a lot of map breakdowns and just tournament prep with us, talking us through the places we're going to be and what to focus on. But at the moment on campus, it's just us, the group of guys that kind of coordinate everything. We're the ones that handle funding, ordering jerseys, and all the logistical things like that. So
who's the coach this year?
Travis Ruley. He's ex-alumni at Liberty and fished the elites. So
nice.
Well, that's
so now are you guys, does Liberty offer full scholarships, or?
We're working on that right now. They don't give scholarships at the moment. It's basically you come to Liberty for the school, you find a program that you want to be studying, and then from there, if you're interested in fishing, you reach out to us and we take you on the team if you have a boat or try to pair you with somebody.
So what you're telling me is they're not giving you no NIL deals, or?
No, wouldn't that be nice? But no, unfortunately not yet.
Yeah.
Do they help support any of the, the fishing team as a whole, or, they support NASCAR. They all support fishing. Come on now.
They do. They definitely could support it more for sure. And it would be nice to get a coach in here, like a registered coach for the team.
Right.
Like he was talking about, we've got a guy that's acting as our coach, but he's not an official coach, and that would definitely help us out for logistical stuff for sure. Because right now, we're in college, getting a whole bunch of schoolwork done.
You're trying to juggle. It's kind of like us here at the Basscast. We're trying to juggle a schedule and be at the lake at a certain time at the right time. And I got someone here just tells me it's time for me to leave. So, this is where we need to be, and this is, who we're going to be up against. So, like I said, we'll go back, young team, 2024, a couple extra rookies. But what's some of you guys' fishing background? How did you guys grow up fishing, and what made you said, hey, I heard you say that you did some high school fishing. Did a lot of you guys do high school fishing as well, come up through that ranks?
Yeah, did you? I think everyone except for me did that. The high school that I went to in Raleigh did not have fishing. Actually, no schools in our county had
Oh,
fishing.
wow.
And currently, to this day, to my knowledge, do not. So I got into fishing. My dad fishes tournaments competitively and has been for the past 30 years. So from the time I could walk, he had me on his boat fishing. So that's how I got in.
What about yours too? Or I'll go. Yeah. So like for me, I fished the TBF when TBF was still a thing in high school. I mean, it still is, but bass is kind of taking it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just fished all the bass trails throughout high school and then qualified for the national championships, world finals, fished those all throughout high school.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, I grew up doing some club tournaments here and there, but mostly that bass and a little bit of MLF stuff. There's not a ton,
Yeah.
a little bit.
All right. I know Cory personally. So Cory's a stick. You guys all seen his photos from Smith Mountain Lake. The guy's got dialed in. Cory's dad. How much did Cory? How much? Let's hear. How much did Dad take you fishing, man?
That's kind of how I got into it. From the very beginning, I was fishing tournaments, and I mean, I'm sure you remember, Brian,
Yep.
the English choice tournaments that we used to fish, way back when. So I've been on the boat, pretty much my whole life. I used to play baseball, and that kind of took up a lot of my time. But then I was on the baseball field thinking about fishing, so I quit and started tournament fishing.
Caleb, yourself?
Yeah, I grew up fishing local tournaments with my dad and my brother, and then I started a bass fishing team at my high school in
That's
Greensboro, and I fished the North Carolina Bass Trail for a high school tournament, and then we fished a couple of MLF high school tournaments, but I didn't really have any nearby, and I fished the Jacob Wheeler Foundation, his high school shootout he puts, and
Oh yeah.
that was a really cool experience.
That's awesome right there. Like I said, a lot of you guys, pretty much have gotten experience around your home lake, but we're changing that up now. And we talk about that a lot here on Basscast Radio, and especially with you guys are I don't even want to say older because dang, half the kids that just qualified for the opens are all not much older than you guys. But how does it feel getting on the road, learning new bodies of water for the first time, going to lakes you've never been to before? I mean, it's going to be a big change. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I can say coming from Minnesota, there's a lot of different fisheries in that area, and there's a lot of good anglers that with that variety can kind of translate that to different lakes across the country. But I mean, we just came from Murray and got our butts kicked a little bit, but there's a learning curve to figuring out those lakes, but it's been a ton of fun. A little bit of pressure obviously to perform, but I mean, just getting on new bodies of water and figuring out those fisheries is really
cool. I do have talking about traveling new bodies of water and everything, you guys, like you said earlier, down Clark's Hill, how do you guys determine, or how does that happen, who's going to fish which event?
So Bass actually did something different this year.
Okay.
Tournament trail. Instead of just having a whole bunch of tournaments and having, different amounts of teams there, they had a lot more last year. But there'd be 100 at one tournament, then 250 at another tournament, and then 150. So they did 6 tournaments. They did 2 trails. One trail is the Legends Trail. The other one is the Lunkers Trail. So basically what we did is we split up. We have 4 teams. We split up to each one. So Caleb and Cory, and then another guy that's not on right now, Hunter, are fishing the Lunkers Trail, and all 4 of us are fishing the Legends Trail. So there's 3 tournaments that we'll be at and 3 tournaments that we'll be at this year.
What's the difference between the two, if you don't mind me asking? Because I did not know that.
So I've got the schedule here. I'll just read them off. So
he's prepared, Geek.
What was that?
I said he's prepared. That's what I'm talking about.
So we got the Legends Trail, and that's what us 4 are fishing.
Right.
Lake Murray, we already went there.
Yep.
And then we got April 18th and 19th at Kentucky Lake, and then June 6th and 7th at Saginaw Bay. And then for them, they're fishing the Lunkers Trail, Clark's Hill, where they're at right now. Then they got March 7th and 8th at Douglas, and then May 16th and 17th at Sam Rayburn.
All right. So what's going to be the difference between the two? But I guess why two different trails, or is there something different? Or, if the boys, if Cory and them win that division, let's say they do, you know what I'm saying? I guess you know what I'm saying, that, they have two different trails. You guys split it up, fish into two different trails. Everybody fishes in the end, the championship, to qualify. Break it all down for us.
So basically, you can qualify through both trail, obviously.
Okay.
But for us, we don't, unless we won all the lunkers and all of the legends, like got first place at all those tournaments, like we are completely out of team points, just because we've got a team like Auburn, Montevello. They've got 20 boats there and they're all in top 30, at every tournament.
Yeah.
So
the more teams you have there, all those teams draw points.
Yep, everybody gets points.
Yeah, 4 team of the year.
So we're out of team of the year. We can qualify, win the national championship.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you win the national championship, you go into a bracket to get in the classic, the same way as they did it last year.
Okay.
But that, it's a little different than how they did it last year. I don't know if they'll do it the same way again, because I don't know if they're really seeing a difference in registration. The problem with registration is they don't really announce it very well, at least for the Legends Trail. They didn't even announce it, and we didn't even know when it was going to be. They did for the
Wow.
so that was good. But it's kind of.
So what do you to qualify for the national championship on the trail you four are fishing, the Legends Trail, I guess, or the lunkers?
It'll be top 20% at those tournaments, so you get top 20%.
Okay,
so that's the same thing I do for kayak series.
Okay, so it's not top 20, so it's not like
top 12%. My bad.
Yeah, so Auburn can't load the field and guarantee they're in, right? You guys can still qualify.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I know Geek's asking a question like me, because for some reason, I always thought and wondered how that really worked. And, because like you guys just said, there's a lot of schools out there they're private schools, to be honest. And some of the private schools are the biggest sticks, not all of them, but some of them are. And you kind of wonder how that really works with them having 10 teams, 12 teams.
Yeah.
And I always wondered if they kind of, I guess in myself, I kind of think of it as a Bass Nation event where you all would compete amongst yourselves here on Smith Mountain Lake, and the top 2 winners from that would go fish a tournament. And you wouldn't load the field with 20-some boats from Faith Christian Academy or something like that. I'm just throwing that out there. But it's a lot. It's a whole lot going on.
So in other words, basically, team of the year is you can throw a whole bunch of boats at it and buy it.
Yeah, that's right.
So we don't care about that as Liberty University. We care about winning a national championship.
Yeah, we're there to catch fish for sure.
There you go. All right.
Wow.
That's the same way with MLF too. They take the top 10%.
Right.
And then all their tournaments are open, so most of them you can just go to the day of the tournament and get into them. They're usually not packed full like Bass is, but.
Well, that's, we're involved in the kayak part of it here. We're the Bass Nation Kayak Series tournament directors, and we only run one event, and that's all they asked us to run was just one. We could do a series if we wanted, and then we send the top 10%, which is one person, to fish the classic championship, whatever they want to call it. But so it's pretty much set up the same way as that. Wow, that's quite interesting. So, like I said, Clarks Hill, you told us the rest of the schedule. Cory, we're going to jump over you guys right now. How are you guys feeling about the next event, your first event of the 2024 season?
We're feeling pretty good. We haven't really figured out a whole lot for sure. We've covered a lot of water, but this lake is so big. It's 71,000 acres. And for those of you listening back home, Smith Mountain Lake is 20,000. So it's, a lot bigger, and it's harder to find schools or select areas because you have to cover so much water. And so tomorrow we're going to fish. We found a couple spots we're going to hit. And then after that, we're just going to roll with some new water and just see what it holds.
Cory, this is something we always talk about, with, I guess you say, you guys, I don't know how to even say this anymore, because me and Geek have this conversation. You guys are probably more experienced than like pros these days. I mean, you come through the high school ranks. We all played video games, except I played the first ones, and you guys playing the 10th generation. But I mean, we all know how to use electronics, and we're all keen into that. But going to this next level and breaking down these bodies of water we're discussing here, I mean, it's a big to do. I mean, it's a lot to learn, a big to do, and seeing new places you've never been before. Or did you guys break down this lake, or did you guys just kind of just, let's see what we can see on the graphs?
No, we definitely tried to break it down as much as we could. Of course, we played the graphs into it. We looked and, graphed around and stuff. But, you kind of have to cover a lot of water. So I feel like you can also waste a lot of time graphing. If you just graph in one area, that's not going to do you much good. We tried to graph as much as we could. I mean, we graphed basically a whole branch of the lake, which the whole branch of the lake is like 4 Smith Mountains. So we covered as much water as we could. We didn't really find anything for sure, like where we could win or catch a good limit. So that's why tomorrow we're just going to kind of roll with some new water, and the electronics help that. You can go run some new water and figure it out pretty quick using live scope or side scope.
So do we want to jump into that, Geek, with the Liberty University bass fishing team? We've all heard the live scope and the live this and the live that, and how it needs to be deleted and returned to sender. You guys all loving it. I know you are. Let's see this. I see the smile already.
I love it.
The last 2 years have been a huge learning curve with getting into college at my last school. If I didn't have graphs, I don't think I would even go. Like, some of these lakes are ridiculously big. Going up to Sam, I've got 3 days to figure out Sam Rayburn, and I've never been there in my life. If I didn't have a graph, like, I'm going to need to turn those 3 days into 3 weeks. And we're on the water. Like, practice starts at 7 a.m. You can't be on the water before that. We are there. We're getting out of the boat ramp at 7:01. And then, like, say sundown's at 7, we're off the water at 7:01. Wow. So it's tough. It's really tough to go fish a new body of water if you don't have a graph. I mean, I don't even know how, like, these pros, I think that's why they have college fishing now in the last 10 years when graphs came up, because these pros, that's their main job, is to go out and fish. So they're doing it for a month ahead.
Yeah.
All these lakes and fishing. But, being college students, we got a week. And if you didn't grow up around that lake or never fished it before, good luck figuring it out in 3 days and doing anything. I mean, then it comes into being a lucky tournament, Like, these guys ran into it and they just got here and have no idea what's under the water.
Wow.
And then, like, fishing up north, I fished up north a lot. That's like my area, big smallmouth. And that does play as well. Graphs, I mean, I'm looking for the smallest changes in a sand pump, and they're not going to be on anything else.
Right.
I'm trying to find that 12 foot depth with a tiny little contour drop, so that I definitely use it a lot. But I do think that people do get in trouble when they're breaking their neck all day looking at live scope. You still got to go fish too. So
yeah, that's been a big thing we've talked about here on Basscast Radio a lot, is getting spun out, spending more time looking at the graphs, and eventually the 8 hours is up. You don't think about it. I mean, for you guys who have never fished a bass fishing tournament before in your whole entire life, it is like the quickest day. Unless you're having a really, really, really bad day where you got mechanical issues and the world's just going to crap. It rolls. I mean, you blast off at 6 or 7 o'clock, and before you know it, it's time to weigh in. And you gotta, that's the cool thing about this college and the high school fishing is learning time management, because it will spill over into your elite series and hopefully make it a little bit easier if you all later down the road make it or go to that type of platform, is time management.
Yep, that's right. And to kind of build on that and the use of live scope in tournaments, I mean, at Murray, we're staring at brush piles with huge blobs all over them, like giant
Yeah.
in a tournament, no doubt. Can you get them to fire? You have no idea. What's it going to
Nope.
take? The crappie jigs that they were using, who knows? But I mean, that's something that we couldn't really figure out, was how to get those fish to fire that we're staring at all day. And like you said, you will spiral out and you will waste too much time staring at them. So it's a timing thing and just kind of having a bunch of areas to run and hopefully figure something out.
Yeah, you've got to know when to leave them. You've got to understand what you're seeing on the graph. I'm pretty good with my graphs, and luckily enough, I've ledge fished for years, and you learn really quickly ledge fishing, even without forward facing sonar. How to approach it, what angles to shoot from, the test. You've got a load of confidence baits that you're going to throw over top of them. But you also have a clock. You learn to develop that clock. Well, if I'm not even getting a bite here, then I know I need to get the heck out of here and on to the next one. And those brush piles down there, I'll tell you right now, you better have you a 15-minute timer. If you ain't getting bit in 15 minutes, you better hit that next one, then the next one, the next. And just rotate it, because at some point in time they'll fire. You just have to be when they do.
Yes, and we've talked about that a lot here, and he's right. And we actually had a young man on this year who he had like 99 pounds of fish or something. It's something crazy, and he was fishing brush piles, but he and he was just hitting them left and right. And he, it's a really great episode. But he actually we talk about the right brush piles that he was looking for those fish. And it was really, really good episode. What did you guys learn from the first event? Like I said, young team, fresh, ready to roll. What was your biggest takeaway from the first event?
That you just can't spend too much time.
Just slap him in the back of the head. Dang, speak up, bud.
You just can't sit at one spot for too long and stare at fish that might or might not fire, but it's that chance, if I sit here long enough, do they fire at the right time?
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate question. I mean, you've got to really decide, look, I'm on these fish. I know there's fish here. If they fire today or I've got enough to win. You got to decide what you've got.
Yeah.
And when to abandon that. That's what sets the okay and the greats apart.
Kenny Rogers did a whole entire song about that.
Yeah, true, very true.
I know we were old, but yes, he did a whole entire song about that in the 80s.
Let's not start singing The Gambler, please God.
So, I mean, but it's true, though. I mean, you really do. I mean, and that is true. I mean, time management is a key now because of these electronics.
Yep.
In the past, I ain't gonna lie, guys, I fish out of a kayak. I got an old HDS 7 or 8 or some mess like that. All I'm looking for is water temperature and contour. That's about it. I'm not really looking for anything else, but and just keep moving and keep fishing. And a lot of guys have talked to us about, some don't even have just now starting to bring the electronics on. And we've talked about in the past about older anglers, like you guys saw this year, David Fritz, who left Bass, but he is fishing the NPFL. And a lot of the older anglers leaving because they don't want to learn the electronics or don't want to pay for them, to be honest. I mean, $6,000. I mean, if they had to pay for them, but I mean, they don't want to have that learning curve that you guys are being a part of.
Yep. It is important to know about electronics, but you also have to know a lake at a macro scale and know if you have to focus on areas, if you should be running up and down a huge lake, wasting time. And I mean, on the Harris chain, we got screwed over by a lock. We didn't know what that would look like getting to a pop Harris chain.
Ooh.
And it takes an hour to get 3 boats through there. And we saw about 15, 20 boats ahead of us in line trying to get there. So we spent probably 3/4 of our tournament sitting on the deck of our boat.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. And that's where those guys that just know about a lake or put the time in to kind of figure out where they need to get to can beat guys just because they're not wasting time. And yeah.
So,
wow.
So how long has Liberty had a team?
They've had them for years, as far as I know. I mean, 2014, it's been a while. It might have even been a little older than that before they started the social media thing, but
That's about right. Maybe a little older, but that's about right though.
yeah, and the older teams had a lot of success. I mean, as far as recognition and coverage they got from the school, that's fluctuated a little bit, and we're kind of on the uptrend right now, trying to grow things a little bit to get it back to where it was. But I mean, we see a lot of potential with this sport and getting kids to the school for fishing, and I mean, it's exciting the amount of possibilities that we have right now to grow this thing. And I mean, Cory's been doing a great job with our social media. That's been huge, trying to get new people, just get eyes to see our jerseys if they're not at a tournament, if there's high school anglers that are good hooks and looking for a school. I mean, he's been doing an awesome job making posts, just giving updates on the team. I mean, making us look like these bigger schools that have all kinds of boats, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty good, Cory, because that's what you have to do. You really, really have to do that. People don't understand that part of it that goes into it, the social media side of it, and making the whole thing, keeping people aware of what you guys have going on, your sponsors who you guys have sponsoring you, and just being a part of an organization that they feel is a rock solid organization. And and that's like any club. I mean, heck, I was in the Cub Scouts when I was a kid. I had five drunk Cub Scout leaders. I mean, after a while you finally just quit. But I mean, you're hoping that you'll finally get one or get somebody that has a good, strong club, and a club that a lot of people are going to want to be a part of for a very long time.
That's right.
So, Clarksville, Cory, we gonna win it?
We're gonna try. That's what we're shooting for.
Well, man, before we go, we'll wish you guys the best of luck in 2024. Thank you for coming on the show. Break us down, man. Who's helping you guys out, sponsoring you guys in 2024? What you guys like to think?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read it off our jersey here. We got quite a
That's
few.
what I do.
There you go.
So the first one is the Kadesh Foundation. It's actually a foundation that supports women that were in sex trafficking. So that's a pretty cool sponsor that we got.
Yeah.
We got Lakewood Chiropractic.
Yep, that's a family sponsor. That's a lot of what we rely on is, I mean, companies of friends and families, same as Aquaspores. So
Aquaspores,
Nice.
St. Croix this year.
yep, Omnia,
Omnia.
awesome online store from Minnesota. Love to have them again.
We actually got a really good bait sponsor this year. We got, let's see here, we got Steel Shad, we got Big Bite Baits, we got Yamamoto, Bill Lewis. And yeah, they helped us out a lot this year. Gave us some, we actually just got 2 big shipments in.
There's boxes
Nice.
you guys can't see, but
Nice.
That is awesome. That's good. You got some of the good old Bill Lewis crankbaits.
Yeah, and they're doing some cool things this year. They came out with a new rattle trap series, and they look sweet. Can't wait to get out there and throw them around. So
shout out to GSM. They helping you out with any rods either? They just purchased Phoenix rods.
We're hoping that's the next thing. Phoenix, they're pretty sweet rods. So
yeah, they are really, really good rod.
I got to try one out at Lake Murray. Me and Wes did actually, and they're sweet, and they got a good price point. So we'll be checking them out.
That's awesome. Guys, it's what, Liberty Bass Fishing? Is that what it is on Instagram?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Head on over, give them a follow, give them a like. Make sure you guys follow the journey in 2024 and follow these young men as they build on their fishing career. Before we go, what is the ultimate plan for you guys? Anybody want to continue after that, or are we just looking, this would just be a college thing? We enjoy hanging out with a bunch of our buddies.
Yeah, I think definitely for all of us. I mean, if you're not passionate about the sport in college, you can't, it's hard to do. Like this, it's hard work to get all this schoolwork done, get excused from class, and we're a week behind, So I think I know definitely for a few of us, if not all of us, like we wouldn't be doing this if we weren't going to do it after college.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I think as far as Liberty goes, I mean, it's kind of a special school in that we got, I think, 115,000 online students, and that's what we're trying to expand to because they're all eligible. And Hunter and Cory on the team are actually both online students that are able to fish with us just because they're full-time with Liberty. So all over the country, we might be able to get people in California and out there on the West Coast fishing tournaments that no one else can reach, and that'd be awesome. So
nice.
Yeah, there's definitely there's opportunity to scale this thing, and man, it's exciting. So,
all right, if a young man's listening to the show tonight, how can they reach the team? Or woman, man or woman, please. I didn't mean to say that, man or woman.
Yeah, reach out to our Instagram. Just send us a message, DM a message, and then Cory will send that off probably to me, and then I'll have a meeting with you.
Yep.
So
We'll give out our numbers and everything. We're not shy to respond, and just about everybody that reaches out gets some kind of response. We'll ask their experience in tournament fishing, whether or not they got a boat, and we try to get them on the team as best we can. So,
and also, even if you don't, want to go and do that traveling stuff, we're going to start up another little group of just people that want to go do stuff locally. And if not, just reach out and we'll figure out something if you just want to talk about fishing or anything. I know there's a lot of students that are interested in bass fishing. So the more that we can get our name out there, the better it's going to be.
That's awesome.
All of us out here are willing to help everybody that wants.
And so it sounds like you guys basically run the show, right? So, I mean, it sounds like your coach helps and, we give him props for that, but it's basically a student run, team and organization, right?
Yeah,
very much so. And it's a matter of finding someone on the faculty side of Liberty to kind of endorse the team and sell what we do a little bit to grow this thing in the school. But
because you guys had Philip last year, didn't you?
Philip.
Oh, nope, you didn't. I think it might have been a year ago then. Like I said, guys, let's find them a good coach. Okay. We don't need any more of the my Cub Scout leaders. All right. We need a good coach. We need a good coach.
Liberty sponsors here.
Hey, tell Liberty, you had a good football season. They brought in some money. Tell them some revenue sharing is appreciated.
We try. I promise you, we try. We've been having all kinds of meetings. And
So we're stretching this here. Do you guys are doing any fundraisers or anything like that to raise funds?
Yeah. So one thing that we've actually been planning in this upcoming spring here is to have some fundraising tournaments, whether it's on Smith, the James Chick.
Yeah.
Basically just we could do raffles, that kind of thing we've been talking about, but we're going to be posting some advertisements for that pretty quick here and to set something up. But we've had one on Smith that was relatively successful, but I think the biggest thing is just scheduling, kind of working it between other deals. So
I was going to come, but I was out of town. So I apologize, but I had planned on making it. We did share it, but I was planning on making it, but I was out of town. So
totally fine. We appreciate it.
And we're about to start actually looking for sponsors for starting in the fall. So our next season starts August 1st. And then everybody that donates and wants to be on that jersey is going to start on August 1st. So yeah, right now the school, we're working with them trying to get more funding, but we really don't have any funding from them. So the more businesses we can get to donate and work with us, the better. So that's really what we're looking for right now.
Yep.
All right, guys. So like I said earlier, make sure you head on out, check out the Liberty University Bass Fishing Team. If you're a business in the local area, give them a shout out and sponsor these fine young men here. Really appreciate you guys being on the show tonight. Thank you for everything. Glad to have such a great community right here and people who love bass fishing. So, guys, we're going to be right back. All right, everyone, man. Really appreciate the boys from Liberty University coming on and talking with us tonight. Great team. Great bunch of young men right there who love bass fishing from all different parts of the country. That's pretty cool right there. So
that is pretty cool.
And that's a good thing. And that's a really cool thing right there for college fishing is you can learn from each other. And hopefully when you go to the lakes up north or out west or down south, you pick each other's brain and help each other prepare better for each event.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, I mean, they're a young team. Everybody is on the team except for one, I think he said was, returning. So everybody's, fresh college things new to them, college school. I mean, it's a whole, I got one in college. I mean, she's just doing college. That's it. And it's been hard for her. So I can only imagine doing a sport and doing college on top of that.
Yeah.
I would be guaranteed an F for fantastic.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Yep. Same here. But, we know that there's a large alum of Liberty University out there in the world.
Yes.
So you guys should support the Liberty University bass fishing team. Especially if you're listening to this, we know you're anglers.
Get that right.
So help those cats out, man. Support your school.
There you go. Before we go, really appreciate all of you guys. It was great meeting a lot of people at the expo in Knoxville. We had a great time. Geek,
Yep.
you know, I was in Geek's neighborhood, kind of close. Not really, but we were kind of close.
Yeah,
don't forget, you can listen to this podcast and all your podcasts and networks. Always, man. Follow. I don't want to be like that. Just follow us. And, you know, it helps the show. Leave a comment. You know, the show is not free. We've talked about that in the past. All we do is ask you just hit the like button. That's it.
Yeah.
Hit the follow button on YouTube. It helps us grow. And, you know, you guys all know our Geek's got the channel. We're promoting Geek and we're promoting the basscast.com. That's what this is about. I mean, you know, we love talking to all these anglers, getting to meet all these anglers. I mean, we're angler fans. I mean, that's what it is for us. I mean, we're like little kid fans. I mean, we get the wonderful opportunity to talk to some of the biggest names in the world of bass fishing.
That's right.
And tell their story and struggles. As you guys heard from Sokup, and Sokup, I haven't had a chance to listen to Sokup's video you put out yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a lot going on. I mean, fishing is more than what I mean, like I said, we're diving deep into the middle again in 2024. But don't forget the American Angler Outdoors. Basscast Radio is there as well. For you guys who are on the Roku TV and Amazon Fire, head on over, check us out, and a lot of other great shows that are on that network. So really appreciate Alvin and his team with, like I said, the American Angler Outdoors. 2 weeks, I'll be in Augusta County, somewhere up there, Fishersville, in that area right there for the
when is that? You have to text me that.
That would be the 10th, 11th, and 12th, or 10th, or something like that. It's in it. Yeah. Let me find it here real quick. Yes, it is the 10th and the 11th is when that show is. So I'll be there 10th for a few hours, hanging out, getting to see everyone, and getting to hang out with the boys as always, and really appreciate that. Mike Del Visco is going to be there doing some of his seminars. I posted the list today on social media that we'll be doing seminars. So come on out, enjoy the day. They're in the big room this year. Lots of vendors. Really appreciate you guys listening. And we'll be back next week with another great episode of Basscast Radio. So have a great night, everyone. And we'll be talking to you guys soon.